If you do not get reparations soon, black folk, as I told you before, are through. Reparation is not a nicety, it's a necessity. What are the conditions? What are the conditions that precipitated black folk getting into this dilemma? And what black labor, white wealth did, it tracked 800 years of history in very systematic terms to show you every strategy, every technique, every law, every public custom, and every public policy that was used to enslave black folk around the world and to maldistribute almost 100% of all this nation's wealth, power, resource, privileges, businesses, and controls of all levels of government into the hands of the dominant white society. And what slavery and Jim Crow segregation did with black folk, it intentionally maldistributed all the resources away from black folk and created a real-life monopoly game. Black folk in America are playing in a real-life monopoly game that you're totally ill-prepared to play and win.
Welcome to Black Star TV 2.0. It's your boy Black Star. We back, family. We back with this reparations conversation. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Man, listen, family, we're going to get into it. So reparations, as we know, is the hottest topic around the world now, right? Because we got the Africans trying to come over here. They just had a little thing in Baltimore. But this video that I'm going to show y'all today is a video of, Dr. Phil, and they had some guy come on there, and of course he was cooning it up and buck dancing, but they also brought Dr. William Darity on there, Sandy Darity on there, and of course they didn't let him speak that long, but he was doing what he do. You feel what I'm saying? And respected him. Make sure y'all go get his books and support our brother. Because our elder, right? Because we do have some elders out here that are putting the work in and that have been putting the work in and still putting the work in, right? And not selling themselves out as they go out and transition, right? So we got to respect that always. But let me get into it, family. We're going to show this video to y'all. We're going to break this down real quick, right? But before I start this video, I shout out to Jason Blackwell. I have to do this before I start this video.
You got to watch out for these old niggas.
You don't support reparations. Why not?
Not everybody suffered equally. I mean, when you go into slavery.
Nigga, what? Yo, he started that whole thing off crazy. He said, not everybody, bro, this nigga's wild, bro.
It's much more complex than white people were the oppressors and black people were the victims. If you dissect it, you will find there were about 3,700 free blacks who owned 12,000 slaves, black slaves. The question is, do the descendants of those free blacks who owned black slaves, do they pay? Blacks really.
That's a talking point from a white supremacist to come out to make that seem as though we shouldn't get reparations because there's a few black people who contributed to that shit. Nigga, you crazy. And number one, and your answer to that would be yes. They gonna pay just like I'm paying for Native Americans to get their checks every month. And I didn't do anything to them. Neither did any of my ancestors. As a matter of fact, they actually enslaved us, right? So what's the irony in that? Of me having to pay out my federal tax dollars, checks to go to people who actually slaved me. So we're not gonna come with these little stupid talking points, right? We just gonna cut these checks.
They benefited more the first 100 years after slavery we have in the last 50 years. I was born in 1937 during the Depression.
You got to watch out for these old niggas.
Everyone in my small, low-income black community, 98% of the households had a man and a woman raising children. Elderly people could walk safely in that community without fear of being assaulted by their grandchildren.
What the hell does that have to do with reparations? And in the 1920s and 30s and all that shit, it was segregated. It was a different atmosphere. And none of that has anything to do with all the wealth that you've stolen. Did we not just listen to Dr. Claude Anderson in the beginning, in the intro? Yo, fam, this is how they do. This is why I say they always bring up operatives, right? People who's against it. They give them the floor. You notice, right? They had Dr. William Darity on the screen. They bring the dude who doesn't agree with it, they bring him on, on the set, on the actual set to sit down and straight argue. And it's, come on, man. Yo, for real, these deep niggas gotta die out. These niggas gotta die out.
You got to watch out for these old niggas.
Never heard of gunfire during that time. Never heard of a child being shot to death in the crib. But
you never heard of that, but what was going on then? What was going on then, my nigga? Stop acting like everything was all peaches and cream, because white supremacy was at its peak back then.
But there are 50 children today who have been shot and killed in our cities. If you're talking about remedy.
Now look, you got a black woman, you got a black man. See what I'm saying? And then you only had one person who was talking against reparations, right? You only had one person who was talking against reparations, and he didn't get that much shine. You see what I'm saying? This is the sabotage. This is the sabotage, and you always have to put some old nigga on there who's about to die off anyway, who wants to stop shit from everybody else who has to live on. Yo, that is some of the most selfish shit you could ever do. Is to try to block us from getting stuff so that the other generation suffer behind you just so you can go out with a pat on the back. Because even if they giving you money, you can't really do nothing with it at that age.
We've got to look beyond saying that every solution has to have a winner and a loser. That blacks can only benefit if whites lose.
Blacks can only benefit if whites lose. You're basically saying that whites are benefiting. And they are benefiting while we are losing. And you cool with that. As long as we don't win and they don't lose. Right? Because what we trying to do with reparations is we're not trying to make them lose. We trying to make shit equal. Listen to the intro. He said we in a real live Monopoly game where you done went around the board 400 times while we sat at go.
You got to watch out for these old niggas.
We have to be defined more than just victims of oppression. When whites were at their worst, blacks were at their best. When we were denied access to hotels, we built our own. We have to communicate to our people the history of.
What happened to them, though? What happened to them? No, we got to communicate our history of slavery and what actually happened and how much wealth you actually extracted from that, because that's what it was all about. That's what slavery was all about. It wasn't about nothing else. All that fucking hurting us and harming us and killing us and hanging us and all of that, that shit was just a byproduct of raping us for the resources. Excuse me. I didn't mean to use that word. Using us for the resources. You feel what I'm saying? Come on, dog. We not gonna sit here and let one of these goofballs.
You got to watch out for these old
not gonna let these old niggas mess it up for us. Nigga, go sit back, go to the nursing home. Yo, for real, bro. Niggas gotta knock these niggas upside their dome, bro. I ain't advocating for nobody to do that, but for real, that's what needs to be done. No other group would allow somebody to just keep undermining them, dog. Yo, he's standing in between us and millions of dollars each for our family. Come on, man, this is crazy.
Of how they achieved in the face of oppression. But if we continue to sit back and say all of the challenges that we face in out of wedlock births of violence, that somehow the control of that is in the hands of white America. And therefore, until white people change, there's nothing that we can do. This sets up a terrible situation for this nation.
But see, again, you're admitting that they're not changing and that they're still having a foot on our neck. And again, a lot of the reasons that they have the wealth that they have, that they're able to do a lot of this blocking us out and a lot of this oppression is because of the wealth. That's why they don't want to give it to us. This is why they're so against reparations. This is why you're so against all of that. You're so against cash payments. You don't want cash payments because you know that will change the game. This is why y'all want everything besides cash payments. You'll say education, but guess what? All of us can't benefit from education. All of us can't benefit from housing. You just giving out Section 8 and all that other shit. Everybody's not going to benefit from that. You see what I'm saying? See, when the natives get those checks, every single person gets one. If a native had a baby and it was born last week and checks come out today, that baby would get a check. And the next month that baby would get a check. And everybody in that household, if you have a household of 5, you got 4 kids, right? And you got you and your boyfriend or your husband, and y'all got 3 kids, right? Every single person in the household is getting a check deposited into the account. You see what I'm saying? For some reason, you're trying to make it seem like to us that is not, no, that's not going to work. Y'all going to waste it, or this is going to happen, or that is going to happen, or that is going to happen. It's always some excuse, because you know that, again, from his era in 1920, when y'all segregated, Black people started doing good because it forced us all to work together. You wasn't allowing us in your shops to spend our money. We had to spend with each other. So really, Black people was forced to build them goddamn Black Wall Streets. If you want to be technical. You see what I'm saying? If y'all was integrated back then, you wouldn't have got that shit off. They wouldn't have got Black Wall Street and all that shit off in integration, because they was messing things up, building highways through everything and things like that. Come on, man.
The big crisis.
Man, these old dudes, but hold on, family. We gonna go to, and I want to share this one because these people really think this is what they want us to follow, family. This is what they want us to follow, right? We got these political people who doing all these political theatrics and you get what I'm saying? All this symbolism stuff. Like, dog, what is this doing? What is all this doing? Then you have the same people that they running with. I guarantee you that same dude that was on Dr. Phil saying that reparations isn't that we shouldn't be getting reparations and it isn't fair, guarantee you he's aligned with somebody that's aligned with these people right here. Let me play this video for y'all real quick. Hold on. You see him in the cane? You see the pastor in the robe? You see the pastor on the road?
You got to watch out for these old niggas.
Can I ask a question? Can you show my participation? Is that a constitutional rule? Or state rule? I mean, what do you mean by problem?
Look, you barely can walk. Y'all out here with a casket. He talking about, is that a constitutional rule? Is that a constitutional rule? We can't bring this up in here. What you bringing it in there for? What is that going to do? What is that going to do? Man, I'm so done with this politics shit, man. This politics shit is crazy, dog. Like, listen. Because now they just doing anything. They just like, man, we just gonna give black people whatever, bro. They gonna follow. And but see, the funny part about it is we actually all sticking together and we not listening to nothing they talking about. You feel me? We not listening to nothing they talking about. We not voting. We not co-signing none of that BS. It's over for y'all. And one thing we is doing, we checking every single person that's saying that they don't agree with reparations. We are going to run you in the dirt on this internet. You feel me? We're going to make sure your credibility is shot in the community. You're never going to be able to come through any of the little places and spots that the grassroots be at. Like, yo, for real, bro, we have to cut these people off. Think about how deep this is and what they're getting in the way of. Yo, they was just talking about if I don't want to Google it real quick, but on Boyce Watkins, they was talking about, it was an article on that and how they brung up $3,000. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get this on my what's the name real quick. I know where I can get it at. It's on my Facebook actually. Family, I'm trying to tell you, we have to. It's imperative that we literally like stop these Sambos, bro. We have to stop them, or other than that, it's going to be a wrap for us. Hold on. Why this shit taking so long? Hold on, family. I don't know what's going on right here, but it's loading. But yeah, man, we definitely I didn't even damn, what's going on? Why this shit not loading? All right, it's not loading. I ain't doing it. But anyway, hold on, family. I want to show you that video because it's more of the here it go. Man, I don't know what's going on with my internet I don't know. We just gonna get back to it. It is what it is. But it was another video of what you call it, the Dr. Phil show, and Dr. Phil was speaking and saying how it ain't fair and all this other stuff, and just giving stuff out to people. I wanted y'all to see that part, but for whatever reason, it's not loading. Internet is acting weird. But family, I'm gonna let y'all go, man. I just wanted to show y'all that video and show y'all we gotta stay on these people, man. We gotta call these people out. Whoever family member that is, fam, y'all need to check that nigga. Y'all need to check that nigga. For real, bro. I'm telling you, because it's gonna get real out here after a while. It's gonna get real out here after a while. I'm trying to tell you, for people who are undermining the community and trying to stop progress, it's gonna get real for y'all motherfuckers, dog. It's gonna get real, man. I'm telling you, because we getting too close. We're getting too close, and this is why Dr. Phil is talking about reparations on his show and trying to bring black people on there that don't agree with it. This is all part of the propaganda. It's all part of the propaganda to try to seek these little talking points in your head so you could be like, hold on, you know what? That isn't fair. That isn't fair. But they never going to talk about Wall Street. They never going to talk about how they was using us to grow the rice, the indigo, and all this other stuff. The cotton, you feel what I'm saying? All of this stuff. It's so much stuff that y'all, man, it's so much deeper than what you talk about. We could talk about New York Life Insurance Company that's still up to this day, who was part of the slave trade. Like, come on, dog. You got companies who got money right now. Harvard. We could talk about the colleges who had slaves and all of that. Yes. Harvard's worth $50-something billion, dog. You can cut a check. That's what I'm saying. They don't want to get into the real meat and potatoes, and they don't really want to bring anybody to let them to that done did the research already. Now, y'all done brought, William Darity, and we respect that, right? But again, y'all ain't really let him go in like he really needs to go in. And we all respect William Darity on the grassroots. We definitely respect that, the elder. You feel me? He put that work in for a long ass time. And Dr. Claude Anderson put that work in for a long ass time. And these are the people who did the real work and research. And also, I like Professor Black Truth's video on reparations. If you ain't seen it, go to his channel and check that out, of why we're owed reparations. And it's just it is long. It's like an hour and 40-something minutes long, but he only touching the surface. You feel what I'm saying? And I guarantee you it's things in there that you didn't know was going on during slavery that financially bust our ass. But I'm going to let y'all go, family, man. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that share button, man. Reparations till we die, dog. For real, we have to get these reparations. Just like Dr. Claude Anderson said, man, we got to get these reparations. We're going to end off with our brother.
Nicety. It's not something nice to have for black folk. It is now an absolute necessity. If you do not get reparations soon, black folk, as I told you before, are through. Reparation is not a nicety, it's a necessity. What are the conditions? What are the conditions that precipitated black folk getting into this dilemma? And what black labor, white wealth did, it tracked 800 years of history in very systematic terms to show you every strategy, every technique, every law, every public custom, and every public policy that was used to enslave black folk around the world and to maldistribute almost 100% of all this nation's wealth, power, resource, privileges, businesses, and controls of all levels of government into the hands of the dominant white society. And what slavery and Jim Crow segregation did with black folk, it intentionally maldistributed all the resources away from black folk and created a real-life monopoly game. Black folk in America are playing in a real-life monopoly game that you're totally ill-prepared to play and win.